who are trying to uh, do something new or innovative. So something innovative should be there in these cases. But for private investor or institutional investors, you can see 100x VC, or there are different other kinds where basically they see how much growth you are expected, and how many competitors are there, and how many means customers are already there in your portfolio, and those things are more important in these cases. Say if you have bought a lot amount of in a very less amount of time, then they see it as a very positive thing. And so this is another thing. And the third most important thing is, say, what is the current trend of the market. Now if you see in the edutech sector, in 2020 the edutech sector was something like, if you are doing something and you have a little fair enough growth, then investors were ready to pay. But at the end of 2021 or 22, now if you have a very good idea or very innovative thing on the edutech sector, also the investors are not paying until and unless you have a very means high, you already have a very high growth or a huge number of customers in your portfolio. So means around say 5 lakh, 10 lakh students you have, or and around 2-3,000 institutes you have. So in this case only you will be getting funding. Now say if you are doing something little fair enough growth in blockchain or these sectors, people are getting easy funds. So basically this time, if you show a very innovative application in edutech also, without sale it is means it's hard to get funding. So sitting in the present situation, you need to understand that what shall I do and what will give us fund. So this is one criteria. But the most important is what you, if you can think in this way, that if you analyze some problem and if you understand that, okay, this problem is actually means you have a solution to solve actually that problem, and that problem is really a problem, like Uber. So in case of Uber, if you see, if your Uber app stuck also, that doesn't mean next day you will go and go for that for the normal road or the YOLO taxi. You will go for the Uber, because Uber has changed the mindset of the people, and it is really helping people. Because when you earlier, when Uber was not there, you used to go and stand for a long time, and some car drivers used to come and they used to say that no, I will not go in that way or this way, and a lot of problem was there. But here Uber has solved a very solved a big problem, and it is a genuinely good app. So if you can go to that way, where you are really solving a very big problem, then it is much easier. Say if you can see the Crade is in a huge loss, it is going in huge loss, still they have got some huge level of funding, because they have a data and they are solving a real problem. And investors think in that way, that okay, if they have loss also, tomorrow they will minimize that loss, or they might bring profit, and they have a lot of hope in that Crade app. So these are the few points which I would like to tell you. One is, if you can really solve a very good problem, if you can really give a very good solution to a problem which is a real problem. Okay. Second is, if your real problem have some innovation in true sense, if it's have something embedded on hardware also, that is very good. If it has some innovation in true sense, then you can try in early stage startup for government funding. Startup India is also giving some funds. You should think that in next 6 months you will get the fund, not like within 15 days. And different colleges, different states are giving funds. So different IITs and IIMs are also giving funds. So those things you can apply, which is quite easy. And another thing is, if you can bring a very high growth, it doesn't matter if it is hardware or software, if you have innovation or not. So if you can bring a very huge growth in the early stage, say within 6 months you have bought around 30,000 users in your portal and it is really solving a very big problem, then you can go for the private investors, 100x VC, and there are different type of private investors. So there is high chances of getting funding, but you have to bring a huge growth. And if you bring revenue also, then it is very good. And on top of that, if you can bring a profit also, then it is very good. So initially, and initially you can think of all these things. You can make the calculation very right so that you will bring some unique profit at least. And you can also think in this way that another is angel investment. You can also think in this way that you can means bring more people in the board of advisors or something like that, who will be actually interesting in your idea and will be ready to give some angel investment. In that way also you can think that if you can bring some angel investment in your data. But things like loan or loan kind of things you should avoid until and unless you have some project kind of thing. Like you are making a project, say you are making an underwater robot for somebody who has given you your work order or something like that, where the return is more or less sure. In those cases you can take loan. So there are different means loan options are also available. As far as I know, government of Bihar, Odisha, they are also giving loan. Earlier, Webel Venture Fund has used to give loan and equity both. So you can check there also if now they are giving. So, but in case of loan, you should be very much sure that the product or the project you are making will be taken by someone and you will get the return. So in that case, it will be easier for you. Else, if you have an idea and you are thinking that okay, in next 6 months you can make the idea and you make a statistics that okay, I will be earning so much, 1% of this, that, and finally you see that after 6 months, say the scenario changes. Like in 2020, what happened after April, March, the entire lockdown happened and a lot of MSMEs stopped due to that. So when it is like unpredictable, you should not go for loan in the initial phase, else you will have a very bad taste of it. So what I suggest is you better go for Startup India and try to get those funds, which will be easy, comparatively easier. And right now you go to the organic mode, like organic marketing, social media marketing, and developing the product like you develop and you ask your friends to develop in this way, or some employee if you have whose payment you can assure, like that. In this way you go, and after that you slowly change to the other mode when the sales have started and you are getting some money, so like that. Okay, so any questions which you need to ask, so that I understand in which way I am going actually.
Participants, any questions? Any questions or any doubts is there, you may ask to sir. Do you have any questions? Anyone have any question?
How many entrepreneurs are there in this the viewers? Is anybody who has already venture or something trying to do
Sir,
something?
your sound is very low, sir.
Oh, sorry. So anyone who has already started a venture and trying to do something?
Sir, most of them are students.
Okay, okay. Or
Any
anybody
questions?
who already means. So what best thing is to do is initially if you are starting a venture, you can do one thing. You can join. You can try for the NASCOM, and also in Bengal, like in IIT Kharagpur and IIM Calcutta, there are different challenges which are held. So you can join those challenges and try to see how your idea is working there. So there are different prize monies also in these challenges.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I think from participant side there is no questions. So
Okay.
thank you once again for giving a valuable speech. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So today's last speaker is Mr. Abhishek Bajaj. He is associated with Zero Infy Kolkata. He will give lecture on investment for early stage startups, equity funding for early stage startups. So I will request to sir kindly start his lecture.
Hello everyone. I am Abhishek Bajaj. I founded a company called Day-02. I guess I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Perfect, perfect. I guess this is a boring session for all the lectures, all the students. I guess nobody is responding to the questions. Are they forced to attend this?
No, sir, they have not forced.
Okay, okay, fair enough. So I'll take just take 2 minutes minutes to tell you about myself. Like, I'm a chartered accountant, and I started my company. Like, I was a student like you all. In 2014, I cleared my CA. Then also, I had an option to get into a big corporate like Deloitte or any MNCs and to start my job. But I had a vision that I want to impact. I want to create a startup. The startup world was buzzing at that point of time. Flipkart, Amazon, they were coming up like anything. So it always attracted me that why can't I build up my own startup? So like I thought, okay, let's give it a try. And at that point of time, I felt that it's very difficult because being a student, I don't have that amount of funds. You need money to start anything. अगर पैसा नहीं होगा तो यू कैन नॉट डू अ बिजनेस, कुछ भी बिजनेस नहीं हो सकता. तो मेरे को हमेशा लगता था कि विद एन आइडिया हाउ कैन आई डू दिस. लाइक ऑब्वियसली आई विल बी नीडिंग पीपल. आई कैन नॉट डू इट अलोन फर्स्टली. सेकेंडली मेरे को पैसा चाहिएगा. आई वुड बी नीडिंग अ टीम और प्रॉपर ऑफिस एक्सेट्रा. So I was very much worried that who will help me. And at that point of time, it was not that famous that investing is there or India में उतना investing का culture था. Only handful of startups were doing good at that point of time. So ये एक बड़ा challenge था. But then I came across a word called angel investing, or like ma'am said, equity investing. अब like being from a technical background, so I am not sure that you guys are aware of what equity investing is or not. But I'll tell you one thing. Like जो word है ना angel investing, this word speaks all. Like angel investors are really sent from heaven for people who have dreams to change the world or impact the world in a positive way, or they have any product or service which they can create, they wish to create, or that can change the world. For those people, these people, the investors who put in money in their venture are angels. ये angel investing है. This is the word which was coined back in New York when there was a famous show called Broadway, which was going down because of low funds. So four of the high net worth individuals in New York, they decided to give some money to that Broadway famous old play show and to make it run again. And it was successful. And at that point of time, Broadway company termed those four people as angels. And from that time, this word is coming. And it seems very logical. So firstly, uh, I would like to mention, like, suppose when you start up, ठीक है, तो angel, who are angels? Angel investor होता कौन है? Angel investors are basically people who bet on your business, bet on you. So it's not that one fine day you go to someone is like कि हाँ मेरे को पैसा चाहिए, I want to do a business. They won't give it to you. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि they have money free में पैसा पड़ा है, they will give it to you. But you need to show them कि अगर ये पैसा उन्होंने दिया, this is how you will use it, and this is how you will change the world. And just not for the sake of starting up, you have started up. There's a real problem that either you have faced it yourself or you have identified it by giving a thorough study to a particular segment or ecosystem. This is the most important aspect, that angels don't just throw away their money. They are angels. They will not grill you to the level with which venture capitalists or private equity funds do. They trust at you at that point of time when even your family doesn't trust you. So keeping that in mind, like I'll just share, like firstly, angels milte kaise? If you see these big startups like Flipkart, Amazon, Google, इनके जो भी founders है, they started some time back. And at that point of time, we all hear that story that Google started from garage. तो अगर Google garage से start हुआ था, तो obviously वो इतना बड़ा बना कैसे? किसी ने तो उस पर भरोसा किया था. Someone has believed in Google or Jeff Bezos from Amazon और Larry Page. किसी ने तो इन लोगों पे बिलीव किया था, तभी Google और Amazon आज के दिन इतना बड़ा है. So when they achieve that level, like अब Google इतना बड़ा है, उसका फाउंडर इतना बड़ा है, So they understand that this angel investing can really change the world in a positive way. So firstly, angel investors are people with money in bank, like उनके पास काफी पैसा होता है. Secondly, मतलब they are either high net worth individuals, or they are people, they are founders of successful startups, or they are at the top position of good startups, maybe a CFO or CEO of a good startup. So these people, they invest in promising people, not on the product. First they see is how enthusiastic the entrepreneur is. Like, is he the person who can, although product, because they know कि product first time में कभी correct नहीं हो सकता. There has to be a product, but it should not be perfect. Perfect होना जरूरी नहीं है. उस समय ये they mainly see कि वो बंदा जो start कर रहा है, or the person who is starting the business, is he capable of taking it to the next level? Is he enthusiastic about the business, about the idea that he is pitching to them? If the angel investor sees that the person has a potential, and if given right direction, he can change the world, then I'm dead sure that angel investor will put in money. So first is like what you have to take to the investor if you want money. It's not that कि अपने जाके खड़े हो जाएंगे and we'll say that we want money for the business and you give it to me. So they will see a particular set of things before investing in you. Nowadays we use the word pitch deck, presentation. Through pitch deck, we explain the idea. Ki what problem, first is what problem we are trying to solve. Second is the product ready? Is it, or is it in the idea stage? अगर ये idea stage पे भी है, in the current scenario, you need to have a MVP. Without the minimum viable product, it's waste to go to an investor because they cannot visualize your idea. So first is problem क्या है? What solution you are giving? Second is MVP. Is MVP ready? What is the stage? Is it an early revenue or a no revenue? Have you got your first customer? Have you taken feedback from the users and changed the product as required? क्या आपने ये basic steps किया है? Have you done it? Then it's the right thing, right time to go to the angel investor. Now, suppose you have these things. There are hell lot of angel investors. There are people with money. Like, there are less startups and more angel investors currently, but you have to decide to whom you have to approach. Suppose you're doing a startup in e-commerce and you go to a person who has nothing to do with e-commerce. Then that person will never be excited about what you're doing. Either he'll not understand what you're doing, or he will just give you money. That's it. But in angel investing, most important aspect is, along with money, you need resources. You need these connects. Money cannot open those doors which connects can open. Like, I have met many high resourceful people, not with my money, but just with my connects. Like, if my investor refers me to someone, the person with resource will never reject the request of my investor. So he can open doors which were beyond your thoughts. So he comes with many benefits. He comes with experience which you don't have. He is giving you money. He is giving you resources. He is giving you his connects. So, and at that point of time, you feel that when you're starting up, now you have nothing to lose. So by giving equity to the investor is just like you are giving him hope of something which is not there. Like, since you guys are from technical background, so I'm not sure whether you know what is equity or not, but I'll explain it to you shortly. By equity, we mean, like, suppose a product, like a company, there's 100% shareholding in a company. Like, you are the owner of the company. That means you have 100% stake in the company. Now, by giving equity to the investor, You are telling him that I am giving you 10% of my company or X% of my company in return of a X amount, which can vary from 10 lakhs to 10 crores. This is the normally ticket size of an angel investor. They either come individually or in groups. There are angel networks. Calcutta Angel Network is there, Mumbai Angel Network is there, Indian Angel Network is there, startup VC funds are there who also have an angel wing. So in this way, you can approach to people with money if you have the idea to change the world. So, like, firstly, I would like to know something from you guys. Anybody wish to start up, like, or just you feel that ठीक है अभी सुन लेंगे बाद में देखा जाएगा क्या करना है. But and I guess previously Supratim Malik has asked a question like, is startup all about innovation, or we can just go about what we want, but innovating the existing business also makes it better. See, I'll tell you, normal traditional business, by startup we mean innovation must be there. Either it is a cheaper solution that you're providing, either it's a faster solution that you're providing, or either the solution does not exist. You cannot sell the same thing to people again if it's already existing in the market. Then just this is just a business, not a startup or not an investable business. So I guess I made myself clear that startup is all about innovation. Secondly, like, I would like to know from you guys, like, if anybody wants to start up or plans to start up or have any idea in mind that they want to pursue in near future.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I have got an idea, but it already exists.
Yeah.
So if I can innovate it in any way to make it better,
Correct.
so how could I present myself to
Like, I
the?
missed the last line. Can you come again, please?
If I want to make an existing business better,
Correct.
like if
See,
I got,
like, correct.
so
Tell
I
me.
should how to present myself?
See, I'll tell you that I'll repeat your question. Like, just correct me if I'm getting it right or not. You're telling there's an existing business, and by your startup, you are just innovating something in that existing business to make it better. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And you want to present it to the investor.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So at this point of time, there's one thing that is crucial, that the business is already there. So you don't need to prove that whether there's a market or not. Plus, if you, by making it better, it means that you are adding value to the business. You have to understand whether that value is crucial for any of the stakeholders of the business, like be it customers, be it suppliers, but any of the person who is impacted by the business. Is it that crucial? Are you making that impact by your innovation, or is just a minor impact? Because if it's a minor impact, as soon as you go to the field, the person who is already doing that business, he has money, he has customer base, he will just see your idea, he will implement it. Then your idea is nowhere. Nobody will count on what you have done. So it should be something which is not copyable. Like, he cannot replicate it overnight. Because what we have seen in the startup world, like, for example, if you see Uber had an idea of booking, allowing users to book cabs over phone. He did it in US. He was trying to enter the India market. At that the same point of time, Ola thought that, why cannot I do it? So I'll do it. Then what happened? Like, Uber was entering into the India market, but Ola built some some presence in some of the cities. Now the investor felt that this is such a big market. It is very difficult for one company to capture at one point of time. So why cannot Ola expand in other cities or other regions where Uber cannot reach initially, being from the same country? So if in the next period of time, when Uber is capturing 50% of India, why cannot Ola create presence in rest 50% and become a competition to Uber? So Ola is just a copy paste of Uber, but it made entry at the right point of time, and it addressed the problem. It showed investors that the market size is so big, it is not easy for one person to capture it, even with such a huge amount of money. And hence it became investable, and people invested in Ola. And it's, that both are working neck to neck, at least in India as of now. Like
So
anyone
can you
else. Yeah, tell me.
can you inform us a little bit more about equity and investment?
Correct. See, like equity and investment. See, whenever you go for invest funding, by funding is raising money from people, they would require you to form a company, a private limited company. A private limited company, as soon as you go and form a private limited company has shares, like equity capital, what we say. Like suppose you put in 10,000 rupees of in a company, and suppose the share value per share is 10 shares. So this means that you are purchasing 1,000 shares of rupees 10 each in that company, and you own 100% of that company. Now you are going to some person that this is my company, I have created this product. Now I want, like, I've done everything, product market fit is there, MVP is ready, we have our first user now. uh, how can like I want money to expand it. So at that point of time, what that person will see, he will see that suppose in future, if your business grows well, then obviously business is growing, by that means company is growing. And if he gets a shareholding or a portion of that company, so he can grow along with the growth of the company. So at that point of time, suppose you say I want 40 lakh rupees, but sir, I cannot give 10% of what I thought. Well, I cannot give you more than that. And if you have that conviction, if you have that idea, if your product is that strong, the investor agrees. So for what you have put 10,000 rupees, for getting 100%, you are selling 10% at 40 lakhs. That means your company is directly getting valued at a figure of 4 crores. सो अब तक जो 1,000 शेयर थे, 1,000 शेयर्स जिनकी वैल्यू 10,000 थी, अब उनकी वैल्यू 4 करोड़ हो जाएगी. मतलब एक शेयर की वैल्यू अराउंड 4,000 एक्स हो चुकी है. मतलब आपने 10,000 लगाया, आज के दिन वो 4 करोड़ रुपया बन चुका है. एंड उसमें से आप 40 लाख उठा रहे हो, यू आर रेजिंग दैट 40 lakhs एंड यू आर जस्ट गिविंग 10% ऑफ योर कंपनी. दैट्स इट. So I guess you understood a little bit of what equity financing is, right? I guess I can get an answer from Supratim.
Yes, sir. So I have one more question.
Correct? Tell me.
If I'm approaching an investor to
Mhm.
invest in my startup or company, then how should I approach at first with my
See,
idea? Or
right. See, first is like investors are angel investors, especially, they are very generous people. You can search them on LinkedIn. Like I guess everyone is using Facebook, Insta, or Snapchat, right? This is a social network, but LinkedIn is a professional network where almost all the investors are there. First, you have to Google like over the active angel investors in India. So you get a list of like 80 or 90 odd people who have been actively investing in last 1 year. Now, once you have that name, you have to create a professional account on LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn, search for those investors, send them a connection request with a note that you are so and so. You have been thinking about this, and you have created this, and you want to connect with that person for a business idea. So it's like a cold approach through LinkedIn. But if you approach 10 people, it is like most likely that you will receive a request response from at least two. And this is how you can connect to angel investors. Secondly is through connects. Like firstly, almost all the major cities has their angel investor network. Like Mumbai has a biggest angel investor network. This is Mumbai Angel Network. So Mumbai angel investors are like a group of people and they're a team. So you can just mail to Mumbai Angels that you have an idea, you want to pitch. They have a weekly or a monthly pitch sessions. You can go there, you can pitch your idea, and if they like it, they will definitely take up to the investors. So either you can reach out to these consortiums who are a group of angel investors working together under a name, or you can directly approach individual investors on LinkedIn. This works. Like I got my first funding through LinkedIn only.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Like anyone else, any questions? I guess because if I go on saying it doesn't make sense, right? Hello. Yeah. Ma'am, I'm open for questions.
Yes, yes. Dear participants, if you have any questions, you may ask to sir. Do you have any doubts, any questions? Anyone have any question, any doubt, any clarification? No one have any question? Anyone have any question? It's a big platform to interact with the future entrepreneurs. So anyone have any questions, you can directly ask to sir. It's a big chance and big scope also. I think, sir, no question is from participants, right? So thank you very much, sir, for your valuable speech.
Okay,
Uh,
thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we are almost on the verge of completion of today's session. So before ending my closing remarks, I would like to convey special thanks to the speakers who have been extremely cooperative in staying with us beyond the time allocated. Thank you all for participating. And with the hope of seeing tomorrow's session, I am concluding today's session. So thank you all.